Welcome back, viewers. You're watching The Savera and I'm Shefali. US President Donald Trump has signaled that he is likely to extend the current 90-day suspension on new tariffs, which are set to expire on July 9th. Instead of prolonging negotiations, Trump indicated that his administration would be issuing formal letters to countries, outfitting the specific trade penalties they would face unless they reach trade agreements with the United States. In a recent news interview, Trump suggested that the US would move ahead with informing nations of their new tariff rates, rather than continuing prolonged talks. Now, according to him, the progress of sending out letters detailing tariff terms, potentially ranging from 20% to as high as 50%, is more efficient than negotiating with multiple countries individually. The president stated that the letters would be tailored to each country's trade dynamic with the US, including their bilateral trade deficits and treatment of American businesses. He opined with the in certain cases, especially with the countries where the US had minimal strategic trade interest, the administration may simply assign a high tariff rate without further discussion. Trump even used Japan as a hypothetical example during the interview, saying that he could send a message stating someone like, "Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're going to pay a 25% tariff tax on your cars." The president emphasized that the US has already been necessary data to justify these decisions and sees little need for further bilateral meetings with all affected nations.
I'm going to send letters. That's the end of the trade deal. I could send one to Japan. "Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're going to pay a 25% tariff on your cars." So we give Japan no cars. They won't take our cars, right? And yet we take millions and millions of their cars into the United States. It's not fair. And I explain that to Japan, and they understand it. And we have a big deficit with Japan, and they understand that too. Now, we have oil. They could take a lot of oil. They could take a lot of other things. But basically, and I'm for doing it right now, we send letters out to all of the countries explaining to them, we'll look at the deficit we have or whatever it is with the country. We'll look at how a country treats us. Are they good? Are they not so good? Some countries, we don't care. We'll just send a high number out. But we're going to be sending letters out starting pretty soon. No, we don't have to meet. We understand. We have all the numbers. Listen, what we're going to do is we're going to send, and we're going to say, congratulations, we're allowing you to shop in the United States of America. You're going to pay a 25% tariff or a 35% or 50% or 10%.
Although he previously stated that the idea of sending such letters in May and earlier in June, the tone of the latest remarks suggests a firmer, swift way from the diplomacy and towards unilateral tariff enforcement. Trump downplayed the importance of the July 9 deadline during a recent White House press conference, acknowledging the difficulty of striking individual deals with over 200 countries. The Trump administration initially set an ambitious target of finalizing 90 trade deals in 90 days, but it now appears that the strategy may pivot towards direct imposition of tariff if agreements are not reached swiftly. Meanwhile, on the India-US trade front, New Delhi's trade delegation has extended its stay in Washington, reportedly to work through remaining issues in an attempt to finalize the bilateral trade deals before the US tariff take effect. President Trump recently hinted that a very big deal with India would be announced soon, despite recent tensions between the two countries over tariffs and market access. The developments mark a turning point in US trade policy, as the administration appears ready to move from negotiations to enforcement, emphasizing a transitional approach based on national interest, trade balances, and reciprocal treatment. That's all for now in this update. Stay tuned to The Savera, download the app and follow us on various social media platforms.